All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. Mind your money, and recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I was sewing, hustling, working for the Mardi Gras Carnival in New Orleans. I'm outside. Everybody talking about boy, your suit cold.
Baby,
it's
this
only
is
one
what we
Super
wait for
Sunday.
all
It ain't
year
Super Bowl.
long. It's
I was sewing,
Mardi
hustling, working for the Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
Yes.
Baby, if y'all coming to Mardi Gras, you heard me? Y'all make sure y'all be safe. You heard me? Y'all can't park in the wrong places. You heard me? Because, baby, if you go too far, you will be looking for your vehicle. You heard me? So, if y'all coming down here for Mardi Gras, y'all have to be careful and cautious and keep your head on a swivel. You heard me? That's all I'm going to say you. You heard me? Let the good times roll, dude.
Hey, couillon, laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. And what that means is it's time to party, y'all. It's time to have some fun. Laissez les bon temps rouler. You got it.
All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast. We'd like to thank all of our listeners, followers, and subscribers for 4 good seasons, and welcome to the show.
It's another All Over the Road, the podcast, with my baby brother, Michael.
The road is long.
Do not try to sing this, Michael.
With many a winding turn that leads us to.
He ain't heavy. He might be a little heavy. He might be a little pudgy. He might be a little pudgy. But he's still my brother. I got both my brothers here.
Strong enough to carry.
We gotta wait for the hook.
He ain't heavy.
He's my brother. How come we don't do the Neil Diamond version?
Was there a Neil Diamond version, Michael?
Oh my gosh, it's better than the Hollies.
Do you? Really?
Whose version?
Neil Diamond. I didn't even know he
Bill
did it.
Diamond.
Neil
Who's
Diamond.
That? Oh, Neil Diamond.
What did you think I said?
I don't know. I thought you said Bill
Teddy,
Diamond.
I want to get a conjugative test. What do you call that? A conjugative test?
I don't know.
Michael, have you heard of that?
I don't know. He never heard of that.
I'm at a very great disadvantage in that I hear maybe one word out of 50, so I don't know how.
That's probably nothing's really been said yet. I'm the guy that you keep around, Vic, just because I'm the older brother he never had. That's cool.
The problem is that you have to wait for the other guy to stop talking. I think that's the way we got to do this.
Oh, okay.
We can't talk over one another. Let me see this. Neil Diamond. Let's see. And,
are we on Facebook Live or are we just?
I don't know.
The
we don't even know.
road is long with many winding turns.
Michael, don't do that.
Oh yeah, Neil's is
Michael's a pretty good singer.
No,
What are you
he's
talking
not.
about?
He's totally tone deaf.
That don't sound bad to me. Maybe I'm tone deaf too.
No, you must be.
Sound all right, Michael?
The road is long. I'm
All right, here it is. Ray, this is the Neil Diamond version. Let's see. We'll see if he's right. I'll let you know. It's probably complete.
Yeah, you'll like Neil.
Yeah. Yeah.
The road is long.
Road is long.
Are you kidding me? It's sleepy.
No, wait.
With
It gets going.
winding.
Oh, winding turns.
I see. Michael, you're doing the Neil Diamond version when you sing, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. He sounds like him.
Traveling Salvation Show. Back up your babies and grab your old ladies and everyone know.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Brother, come on.
Brother.
Serenade. We could do like all the Neil Diamond hits.
Be here a
My
long
favorite
time.
one is, I like that. What was the dog again? What was his dog? The dog. He always came. Shiloh?
Shiloh, when I was young,
I used to call your name. When no
one else would come, you'd always came.
That's like my grandson, Teddy. Teddy, he'll always come. Everybody ignores me, all the kids, but Teddy, he is the man. Teddy's the man, Michael. You gotta get down with Teddy.
He's a Teddy.
He's the other Teddy. If you heard, we got a drop that we run.
Yeah.
That goes, hey, this is me, Teddy, the other Teddy, the young little Teddy. It's hilarious, man. He's hilarious. I think he's here. We got to bring him up here.
Yeah, we'll have to get him.
Can we get him up
Record
here?
some more.
We'll get him up here.
Oh, we could.
This is my brother Michael. Are you hearing things okay now, Mike? How we doing here?
I heard how you doing here.
How we doing here?
I'm struggling to hear you all, but I'm fine.
Okay, whatever. This is what happens when you don't have your tech guy here.
Closed caption would help.
We got to have a tech guy here. We need a tech guy.
Yeah, we had, Vic did. He had DeMario Davis last week.
Yeah, we had DeMario Davis.
And it went smooth as silk. It was perfect.
And because Nick was here.
Nick was here. That's the factor.
You put us two idiots in here, and we don't know what the heck's going on.
I admit I don't know.
You know.
I'll admit it.
So, Michael, I haven't talked to you since Mom had the fall. So, and I don't know if we talked about it a lot on the podcast, but our mother, Joni, who, a fantastic mother over the years, she helped us steal baseball cards and everything. Mom was a kleptomaniac when it came to baseball cards. And she had a little fall.
Is that right?
Yeah, she had a fall.
I knew she had the fall, but I didn't know about the baseball cards.
She had this fall.
Yeah.
And so, me being the, what would I say, Michael? What's the word? I don't know. I was asking her about the situation. Was there a curb?
I have to say one thing. That was 3.5 minutes of not a single word I could understand except for, what's the word? What's the word? Came in crystal clear.
Litigious.
It's all the other words that did.
It's litigious.
When you're talking about somebody fell.
Mother.
Did somebody fall?
Yeah, your mother.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay, good.
I think
that's what I thought you were talking about. And then I heard baseball cards too.
She used to steal baseball cards. Remember we'd have kids over for baseball card trading and she'd steal the cards?
Oh, and they never saw it coming. No. Who would have thought the mother was sliding them under the couch?
What was she stealing?
Yeah,
what was she stealing?
She saw Johnny Bench. She took it. She took it. Johnny Bench. That's a keeper.
Yeah.
I think there was a Mickey Stanley or an Al Kaline in there too.
Why would she steal a Mickey Stanley? I mean, seriously.
Al Kaline. I see that.
Because you didn't have it and that kid did. That's why.
Michael, I wanted to congratulate you on 16 years at Super Talk WTN.
16 years.
Congratulations there in Nashville.
Wow.
And everybody's moving.
And you are the only one to congratulate me. So thank you.
I know. Here, let me show you somebody, Mike. Maybe you know this young lady here.
Yeah.
There she is.
It's your niece.
Harper. That's the bride.
Isn't she something, huh?
She's got her school outfit on.
She's cheerleading now, She's a flyer. I'll have to send you the video. They throw her in the air. She does flips and everything. She's amazing.
Jeez.
She is. Where'd you get this movie?
Does she remember when I used...
Oh, no, it's...
ask her if she remembers when I used to do Dr. Topol.
Do you remember Dr. Topol?
Does she remember Dr. Topol? I used to pull her toes.
She kind of. She's 10 now. She's 10 now.
Jeez.
She's 10.
Yeah, I know. Your uncle needs to come visit more.
You should.
What do you need to do?
You're always whining and complaining about me not coming to visit. Nobody sees you. But then again, you got...
I got my hands full, but...
No, you gave it to me.
I know. It's beautiful. I got her a little necklace for Christmas. I don't know if you can see it. It's a cub. It's a little... I call her Cub, and that's a little cub necklace.
Oh, nice.
But there she is, my beautiful granddaughter, Harper.
Cubby in the house.
Shut the door of the studio. Shut the door of the studio.
Bye.
But congratulations, Michael. I remember when you left Tulsa and you got to Nashville. Who would have known? I mean, you just have this amazing ability to keep jobs. Where Teddy and I would like to know how you do that.
16 years and one. Jeez.
We were lucky the last 16 months.
Yeah.
16 years.
But who, Michael, was the first one to visit you on your new job or your job that you have now?
Day one, Teddy was in town, and we went to the Nashville Sounds games together, right?
Yeah, we
Actually,
sure did.
Did we go? I think we went to O'Charlie's and ate, and then we went to the Sounds game. That was the old stadium.
We went to a restaurant near your studio, near the station, I think, if I recall.
Yeah, that hasn't changed at all since you were there. Everyone else's did, but ours have.
Yeah.
No, I've been very fortunate. I've lived in 2 cities. I'm in radio, and I've lived in 2 cities in the last 37 years. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is
for
crazy.
Radio.
Yeah.
I'll take this one over the previous one, too.
Well, actually, I'm giving you a sneak peek of what my veneers are going to look like. Would you like to see it?
Very Steve Harvey.
Very. Yeah, look at that.
You're going to go way white, huh? Way white.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, the real thing's not going to be that white.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is? It is?
No, really, it is. They're going to be that white. But really, congratulations. And you had a chance to visit with the boss, right? You told me you were telling a little story. You visit with the boss, and they just, they love you, Mike. I mean, you can't, you couldn't even lose that job if you tried. I don't think you could.
I think he has tried a few times.
If they see this podcast, that might.
Yeah.
Well, thank God they don't.
I was just there, last month? I visited.
Yes,
no, that's not when I visited you, though. But when did I see you? It was last month. I didn't go by the station, but I came by the house. We watched some football one night and talked and all that. But I was at the station in July of last year, and it's not that bad. You portray it as this, as we used to say in radio, a toilet, but it's not. It's not that bad.
We just started WTN TV, so I don't want to do this on the air because I don't want to cast it in a bad light.
Yeah.
Technology's everywhere, and everyone's wanting to use it more in a podcast form. So there's some struggles on air radio, terrestrial versus podcast and audio. But I mean, I always thought what made radio special. I mean, I had a couple of big things. Television is kind of college people. Mm-hmm. I've always said college produces television personalities. Real life produces radio personalities. But, going back to Larry King and others, radio was always intimate. I think there's something intimate about not seeing and only hearing. And now we're all getting into video. And I don't know how I feel about it. And, then they'll all say the same thing, don't play to the camera. But, if you stick a camera in front of a bunch of, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to dress like the same slob I dress like.
Absolutely.
I hope they meant it when they
Absolutely.
Well, radio's that intimate. It's the intimate medium. Most people listen one-on-one. You're talking to one person, right? That's what they used to always tell you. Put the picture of a girl up on the screen.
Yeah. And I'll say it this way. God rest his soul. But Rush did a television show. Mm-hmm. And I knew Rush personally, and I was friends with Rush. He's an icon in our industry, and there's nobody that's been better, and no one will ever. Paul Harvey would be on that Mount Rushmore. He'd be on that, but I didn't like seeing Rush.
What about me? I'm not on there.
Yeah.
I don't know why people necessarily believe that it's just a good thing to do, but yeah. So now you'll be able to see our studio. Of course, the camera's so close you can't see anything behind you, but it's a humble little. Listen, all the other stations in the building got these big fancy studios. I kind of like our humble little room and our one-on-one with the audience, but now I guess people are going to be staring at us. So we'll see.
Well, this is the reason why I'm getting a new. That's what's the reason, Michael. I'm getting a new set of chompers because I want to start doing more video, and I'm ashamed of my teeth. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but a lot of times when I talk to people, I put my hand over my mouth like this because I'm embarrassed.
Kind of cover it up.
You go, hey, it's almost kind of like talking to the pitcher. I cover my mouth a lot. Have you noticed that?
You do or I do?
I do. You notice that?
I've never noticed it.
No.
I've never noticed you do that.
Well, it's because I don't do it. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, but when he gets the new teeth, his plan is to go to Hollywood.
Yes.
And, make his mark there, and stand up comedy.
I've already got a stand up comedy gig.
Yeah. We're just waiting on the teeth.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Once
right?
the teeth are in, it's stand up time. And I'm doing a whole bit. You know what I'm going to do the bit on? I'm going to do the bit on the Mutt Bean. The Mutt Bean. People don't believe this when I tell them. When we were growing up, my mother never bought a napkin in her life. Okay? When we sat down to eat dinner, there was a community rag that was passed around the table. It was called the Mutt Bean.
The Mutt Bean. Yeah.
The Mutt
Everybody
Bean.
shared the Mutt Bean.
The Mutt Bean.
That's got to be Italian.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
of
And
course.
there were no napkins. So, you'd eat a little bit of food. You get a little something on your faccia, which is Italian for face.
Okay.
Your funge, or fungiad.
Yeah.
And I go, Michael, pass me the Mutt Bean. He'd pass me the Mutt Bean. I'd rub my
heard of that
face.
before.
I'd pass it to Mom. And not only that, too, but what was really gross is now today everybody is wash your hands. Everything's wash your
20 seconds. 20 seconds at least.
No, happy birthday. Twice.
Right.
Happy birthday. You wash your hands.
Twice. Yeah, twice.
I don't ever recall Mom asking us to wash our hands.
Oh.
Do you, Michael?
Do I remember my mom telling us to watch? No.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
That's odd. That's kind of odd.
Like, go wash your hands and come to dinner.
Yeah,
No,
we
you never heard that.
I can tell you this, that of my earliest memory, I have three that are very early. I don't think we've ever told this story in the podcast, but we had a Cocker Spaniel, Rocky. And Rocky was, like, for those of you that grew up in Chicago and used to see Cuddly Dudley on the Ray Rayner show, he was like Cuddly Dudley cute. And so I remember I would just stare at him, and then his eyes would kind of turn, and then he'd bite me. And so I had stitches on my forehead, stitches on my cheek. The funniest part, not funny for Rocky, but the funniest part of the story is one time Rocky snipped at Victor. Didn't even bite him, just snapped at him, and Rocky got put to sleep.
Of course, yeah.
I got bit 3 times, and nothing happened to Rocky. Snaps at Vic, he gets put to sleep. But
It was the end of Rocky, huh?
I will tell you this. Hopefully you can hear this, Mike. I don't know what's going on with the audio problems, but we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
There were 2, possibly maybe 3 occasions where I saved Michael's life. Okay. And One of them was with the Rocky.
Revisited.
You don't remember this maybe, but was a Rocky incident. All right. I don't know about him snapping or how many times he bit Michael, but there was one time he got Michael in the backyard and he maimed the crap out of Michael. I mean, he was a bloody mess. And I went out there and broke it up, got the dog off of him. And I'm telling you, it was, you know, and at that time I might have been, I don't know, 7, 8. Michael might have been, 4 or something like that.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
I could not believe what I was seeing. It was like walking into a crime scene. It was blood everywhere. It was awful. And he still has some of the scars from it. But yes, I think Michael, after that, that was the incident that was Rocky's demise. So you're not remembering that part. When he maimed, I mean, it was ugly, Teddy. It was bad.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. But getting back to mupping earlier than that, and I could have been maybe it's a very just one recollection, maybe 1.5, 2 years old. Was Mom taking the rag in the sink? Remember how it would smell after it did dishes, and wipe my face with it? And I remember that smell, and I think it's to this day my earliest life memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, the mutt bean, it would travel. Yeah. When the mutt bean got wet in the sink, it was nasty.
They had a new mutt bean for every dinner, right?
Yeah, you had a new mutt bean for every dinner. Yeah.
I'm just kind of
there might have been 2 mutt beans floating around. There might have been 2. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't even. If we stop and think, I don't think there was paper towel then.
No,
there wasn't.
There was no paper towel. There were no napkins. It was all
unless you had
mutt bean.
formal napkins. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had the mutt bean, and everybody just threw it around and wiped their face with it.
So was paper towels the end of the mutt bean?
I don't know. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when the mutt bean went out of phase with our family, but it died a slow death eventually. I'm happy to say. Right. The other thing was too. You know how when you eat Italian food and they give you a little dish of grated Parmesan or Romano cheese, and you pass it around the table, and you put the spoons in it, and you sprinkle a little on your pasta. Right. This is how Italians do it. Well, at my house, there was a big block of cheese sitting on a grater, and the grater and the cheese was passed around. Wow. So everybody's putting their stinky mitts, dirty mitts on the cheese and grating it. And you pass the grater, and there's all kinds. And of course, my mom had an unbelievable talent of putting 2 words together that should never be together. They're the 2 words that were never together, except when my mom spoke. My mom spoke, and there were a couple words that should not have been together. And we won't go into that. But it's not appropriate for this podcast, but it will be appropriate for a Santa Monica comedy club. So it's going to be fun.
You've got tons of stories to tell.
I'm ready.
You just need the teeth at this point.
I just need the teeth and an audience, and I'm ready to go. I really am. I mean, and you know what? If I fail, I fail.
Yeah.
I've done stand-up comedy.
You've done well with it. I've seen your stand-up. You do very well.
I mean, I did. Yeah, but you know what? You know what I'll say? I think your best experience will be your first time when you're just yourself and you just start telling some stories, and then you just start flowing. The second time will be a nightmare because
you're going to want
to have done it well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it's like we had Zanies here. So I went to Zanies. It was a thing. It was a Scott Hamilton, the ice skater, benefit. And it was me, Victoria Jackson from Saturday Night Live. And I really, really did well.
You did do well. I saw it. You did very well. And you did the whole bit on Andrea. It was all about Andrea. It was funny.
Yeah. Then the next time. And then me and Victoria went and did a paid event somewhere, and I bombed terrible. And I will tell you this, there is nothing, and I mean nothing like the feeling of doing stand-up and you're doing well and the crowd's going crazy and laughing and wanting more, and you leave. And then there's nothing. And I meant scarred for a month. Than when you bomb. I don't know how they do it because it's scarring.
We had a comedy club here in New Orleans for years on Veterans Boulevard, and I opened for Maury Amsterdam. I used to open for Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, so I would get up there and I would just warm up the crowd and bring on the real comedians. Well, one night I did a set. I ran everything by Martha, and I said, "This is what I mean." It was back in the days of Brenda Vaccaro doing the douche commercials. Remember Brenda Vaccaro? She'd do all these massive. Whatever happened to the douche? The douche is gone.
It is gone.
There's no more douche. I don't know. Because it's a self-cleaning oven. I don't know if you know that. It's a self-cleaning oven.
Ah, okay.
Did you know that, Michael? Self-cleaning.
It was brought to you by Massengale, the douche.
So I cracked a bunch of Brenda Vaccaro jokes about douches and everything, and I completely bombed. Yeah. And I did the same thing. The first time I did very well, but then you start getting like, oh, okay, I'm kind of funny. And you get out there, and then when something doesn't work, it is the hardest thing to do, to stand up in front of people and make them laugh.
Well, and there's 2 kinds of comedians. Like I'll tell you, Victoria, for example, just has all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all this material, memorized material laid out. Now, she'll do that over and over again. And then next year she'll write new material. And then they'll all be saying, you got new material? Like when you see these comedians now with these specials, that's how comedians used to go around the country. And so you didn't go back to those same cities with the same material. I can't do that. So the guy was like, how many minutes of material do you have? And I'm like, I'm in radio. I'll never forget. I got a KFI in Los Angeles and it was on a weekend. And there was 57 straight minutes. They didn't have any commercials. And so you started the show and I just talked until 57 minutes was up. That's how we're wired.
Yeah.
And so I go, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And so I ended up doing, like 18 minutes of material, which for the professional comedians, they were very impressed. You have 18 minutes of material. I don't even know what I did. And I wouldn't know how to do those same 18 minutes the next time.
Yeah.
And you don't even think about it till it is the next time. And the bomb. I still have not done it again since bombing. That's how scarring it was. And of course, for them, it wasn't as bad as it was for me, but I just couldn't get in a flow. And it's just bizarre, but you'll like it. I mean, with those teeth, though, you should go straight to game show. Survey said with those teeth.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
2 and 2. That was Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery, the Wooler. And by the way, Wooler does those Blue Emu commercials, and he says it's not greasy. He doesn't say greasy. He says greasy. I thought that was fantastic.
So when you're bombing and you sense you're bombing because you're bombing, right?
It's awful.
Do you just end it, or you just cut it short? What do you do?
In my situation, I wasn't doing a full set. I was the MC, so I just ended it.
Okay.
But if you got a set,
nice.
you got to keep going and work. Normally, when there was a couple times when I did some sets, and what I would do when I started to bomb, I just worked the audience. Hey, what's your name?
Yeah.
And if you work the audience and just make fun of the audience, that can rescue you. It did me a couple times. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some material, but I'm going to kind of just see what happens. And you know what? Even if I fail and bomb, it's good content for the podcast is what it is. So, I can't lose.
That's right.
You're going.
I can't
Nick's
lose.
doing the opposite of Joe Rogan. He's going to be a good podcaster and then a comedian as opposed to a comedian then a great
Was
podcaster.
Rogan a comedian? I didn't know that.
Yes, stand-up
I think he
comedian.
was.
I didn't know that.
Or he is. I don't know if he still is.
No, now he's a podcast.
Have you guys seen, I don't know if you've seen this on social media, Rogan's dad is attacking him big time because Rogan's, I guess, said some things about his dad in the past and said his dad used to beat his mom and all. He was a terrible person. And now Rogan's dad is on social media with his sister and I think another brother or something. They're just like, come on, Joe, let's, they want to go at it. Like they're Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, so you could relate to that maybe to a certain extent.
If you want the dad beatings to stop, you got to beat up dad.
You need to tell Joe. Maybe that's where Joe's headed. I don't know.
And the beatings stop. That's how that works. But
well, anyway,
it was
As Vic pauses to quote a very great man.
I had a conversation with Michael on the phone last night. I just got back from a men's retreat with the church, and the emphasis was on humility. And so I really feel like that I am going to make a greater effort to be humble, which I'm really not. I'm really kind of a humble guy, but my personality doesn't really exude
kind of gets in the way.
humility. Well, I don't know. It's just the Italian, deal. Like, for instance, Brandon Malachowsko, the comedian, all right, an actor. He went to our high school. Did you know he went to Rolling Meadows, Michael, in Rolling Meadows? Did you know that? Brandon Malachowsko?
You're talking about Sebastian Maniscalco.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's right. Sebastian Maniscalco grew up in Arlington Heights, Illinois on the Rolling Meadows side. And
he went to South. He went to South and he went to Meadows.
Junior high, grew right up in our neighborhood. Went to Meadows High School.
So did Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Jimmy G.
Because until those two, I was the hometown hero. And then now I'm way back there now.
Wait, is that a joke?
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Is that true, Michael?
That's very true.
Sebastian is about 15 years maybe. No. About 10 years younger than me, 15 years younger than you.
He's 50. He's 50. He's 12 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
He's 50.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No. I think he's high 40s. I don't think he's 50.
No, he's 50. I know he is. I disagree with you. But you know what? The thing with Sebastian, is that it's not necessarily the jokes that are funny. It's the way he delivers them.
Yeah, that's true.
and that is what makes a great comedian.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the jokes,
right?
But, how you deliver them is the big thing. So, so tell me what's going on.
By the way, Sebastian Maniscalco is 49 years old from Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Right. No,
It looks
okay, I
like
was a
Michael.
year off. I was closer than you.
We're a year off. But yeah, that's what
You
I mean.
were Michael was low, you were high, you met in the middle.
How would you have loved to have been in South Junior High School with him? Can you imagine what that would have been like? I was looking at, it's all over the road. So let's be all over the road. I came across this about Tom Brady. And, I can tell you, I grew up watching Archie Manning, and I think Archie Manning was one of the great NFL quarterbacks who never won. I got to watch his son Peyton, that many would consider is one of the greatest. I thought Dan Marino was one of the greatest. I thought Joe Montana, who was more of a great winner than statistically the greatest.
Bradshaw.
But Bradshaw, which was fun to watch, you remember in the 70s. And Tom Brady kind of did a lot of things just under the radar without it being noticeable.
Are you going to listen? Are you going to do the stat what he did in his 20s, 30s, and 40s? A statistic that came out this week about Tom Brady.
3 separate 7-year Hall of Fame seasons.
Yes.
And it speaks to not only the longevity, and by the way, when we break these numbers down, he's going to get better and better with every increment of 7 years. And it's I don't know how far you want to go on this, but you can take completion percentage, which if you take his first 7 years with the Patriots, he had a 63% completion ratio. Then you go to his second 7 years, all with the Patriots, and it goes to 64%. Same thing with yardage, same thing with TDs, same thing with league MVPs, same things with Super Bowl MVPs. And what you see is, in essence, in totality, three Hall of Fame careers in one lifetime and 121 years.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, you and I would probably, Vic and I won't have a disagreement on this probably. Wayne Gretzky is the greatest I ever saw, and I've never seen another. Tiger Woods in his prime. Now, statistically, he can't even match Nicklaus, but in his prime, it was the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. Michael Jordan hung out too long, and it got ugly when he got to the Wizards, but I have never, including LeBron, I have never seen anybody that looked like Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan wanted to score 65 points on you that night, he would. If he wanted to get 65 assists on you, he would. And if he wanted to get 65 steals, he would. And he was always there for the game winner. But I mean, when you look at these numbers, Vic, there's no arguing. Tom Brady is not only the greatest of all time, statistically, the numbers don't lie. He did it not once, twice, but 3 times.
Yeah.
3 lifetimes in one lifetime.
And he was able to do it as the maturization, is that the word, of the athlete started to become what the athlete is now. And the athlete that he played against last week or 2 weeks ago when they were eliminated from the playoffs, and the athlete he played against when he came in for Bledsoe, 2 different brands of athletes. I mean, these athletes today, they're faster, stronger, bigger. I mean, and for him to do that in 3 decades is absolutely unbelievable. No, there'll be nobody like it. There'll never be another Gretzky. There'll never be another Michael Jordan. No. And there'll never be another Mickey Mantle. So
you can say there never will be another Tom Brady.
Never. No. You can't survive. You can't survive. And when you talk about Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods was on his way to being an icon. Now, what are the icons? Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali. These are your icons.
Well, can I add one that you won't probably say noticeably? Secretariat was an icon, even though it wasn't a human being. So, I mean, you're talking about that kind of a mantle. And you remember Joe Namath and what he looked like when he walked off the field. He looked crippled. And look at Tom Brady today. He still looks the same age. He leaves the game. By the way, you live in New Orleans. Would you? I mean, I think it was neat how he intimately with a camera said goodbye
out on the beach.
Yeah, on a beach. I don't think you'll ever see Tom Brady play again, but I'd have him start for the Saints, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Come fall. I mean, he's still not.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good.
Be all over the road. Listen or comment live. Say whatever you want. 24 hours a day. Tell a story. Give your opinion.
You'll be on the next podcast. So go ahead.
Don't be shy. Call 504-603-6753.
Yeah, I'd like to say that Mayor LaToya Toilet basically is just terrible. She does nothing for the city, and we need this recall to really go through. I'm scared to go to the city. I can't even go to the Saints or Pelicans game because I'm so scared to go to the damn city. I think that if we need more money in New Orleans, the way we're going to do that is get rid of crime, and she's not doing it. And if you get rid of crime, then more people are going to come back to the city, which means, in turn, more money. And that's not going to happen with this crazy lady at mayor.
Coming to Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. Cause I need to grab my grape soda and take a sip while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Testing 1 2. Michael, give me a mic check. Give me a check. Michael, can you hear me?
I think you said give me a check. Yeah. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1.
She sounds a little distorted to me.
Do it again, Michael.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Do I sound as bad as you guys?
You sound in my headphones. You sound great.
No, he sounds distorted. Okay. A little bit.
Well,
not terribly.
Well, yeah, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing anything. I'm hearing everybody sounding loud and clear.
Okay.
Teddy?
Yep.
Now, am I going to hit record on the StreamYard? Do I hit record?
Hey. No, we're trying to figure out what we're doing.
Okay, well, I'm recording it on StreamYard. Okay, we're recording.
If you're not going live, though.
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, so.
Your uncle.
Oh, it's Emmy.
There she is. Emily, Jen.
How are you going to know that? You got 2 mics up there. Oh, no, that's your. Okay. Can you get rid of the big logo in the back? Do you know how to do that?
No, I don't.
Emily,
It'd be
you know how?
It'd be in background.
Huh?
Oh, guess what? It says live 33. Are we live? I hit record.
I don't know if we might be on Facebook Live.
Who cares?
I don't even
cares
know.
about Facebook.
Y'all a bunch of old people.
Yeah. We don't even know.
Who freaking cares about Facebook?
Who cares? All right.
Let's
oh, boy.
I don't care what people tell you. Inflation is here. They're about ready to put a tax on beef, a tax on pork. Have you seen the price of milk? Inflation is here. Shortages are here. And financially, you got to figure out what the heck you're going to do with excess cash. They call it discretionary income. Well, the best thing that you need to do is to contact our friends at Coin Trader Inc. They deal in all the precious metals, rare coins. It's completely private. You don't need a social security number. You could be Bozo the Clown and open an account with Coin Trader. They've been around for 15 years. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call them today and protect your hard-earned wealth. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and rare U.S. and ancient coins. They're experts in all that stuff. Give them a call at 504-267-6004 and tell them the king of all podcasts sent you.
Hey, this is William Wallace, my show, William Wallace for America. Thank you so much for tuning into my show where I'm always looking for things to unite America and solutions that we can all agree on to help preserve the great country we live in. And when I'm not doing that, I'm listening to the All Over the Road podcast. And remember, sharing their podcast and my podcast is caring.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. For real-time prices on gold, silver, palladium, and platinum 24/7, go to goldpricesnow.com. That's goldpricesnow.com.
We thank you all. This is the announcer guy speaking. For 4 seasons and All Over the Road, the podcast, New Orleans.